Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bibliomancy for Beginners, our side project, Nostalgia Junkie, wherein we are reading the Pendragon series because it was my favorite series as a child, and I want everybody forever and ever to read it. So we're talking about it. I'm going to let all my hosts introduce themselves, but first off, there's going to be swearing. There's always swearing. I'm letting everybody know there's swearing.
Here we go. I'll introduce myself while this is happening. My name is Gretchen from the blog My Life is a Notebook, and today I had the fun adventure of going rail biking, which is this thing that's really big in Korea, and we've just started bringing them over to the U.S., and so I rode on the first track that's here in the U.S. And it was 5 minutes outside of my door. But the thing was that I biked 12 miles today. And so I'm just really exhausted. And this book didn't help. So I'm just dying inside. And that is all. Okay, Casey, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Casey from... I almost said My Life is a Notebook. I'm Casey from thedrunklibrarian.wordpress.com, where I'm a bitch about books. I did not bike 12 miles. I don't think I've ever biked 12 miles or done anything for 12 miles. I don't believe in exercise. But I did buy a car. Well, I leased a car. His name is Wally. He's silver. And this book sucks. But I finished it yesterday, so today was great. I wasn't reading it. Oh, is Michaela back?
Yeah, sorry, my internet died. It wasn't my computer this time, it was the internet.
Michaela.
Did you
wait, your voice got better.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, it was the internet then. That was a sign that the internet was dying.
Oh.
Some things work out. Is it my turn to introduce myself?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Michaela. Sorry, I dropped out.
Oh, dear.
Did she go? Okay. Oh.
Wait, she's back. There's two Michaelas. This is going about as well as this book did.
Honestly.
This is Michaela.
I'm just gonna try it one more time. Hi,
Okay,
I'm Michaela.
My favorite
Yeah.
calls, and she needs a new computer.
Apparently. Goodness gracious. I have a blog where I talk about comics and books and K-pop. Yeah, that's what I got for you today. I did the booktubeathon. I only read 4 books. The goal was 7, but that was very ambitious. I had a personal goal of 4, and I hit that, so I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I did it. One of those books was not this book. I read this book entirely today, by the way. I just went.
Woohoo! Me too.
Wow, you guys. Jeez. I'm impressed.
I was too
not
busy reading Joe Hill. It was much better. It made me very happy, that book. This book, not so much. All right. For those of you who don't know, this is a book club, but we always give our spoiler-free recommendations before we talk about the book in detail. And first I will read the back of the book to you because my internet's being dumb, so I don't want to fuck it up by looking on Goodreads. I'm going to use the book itself, old school again. The subtitle here says, Breaking the Rules! Just when 15-year-old Bobby Pendragon thinks he understands his purpose as a traveler to protect the territories of Hala from the evil Saint Dane, he is faced with an impossible choice. The inhabitants of Elong are in danger of being wiped out by a mysterious plague. The only way Bobby can stop it is to bring the antidote from another territory. Since moving items between territories is forbidden by the Traveler rules, if Bobby chooses to save Elong, he could endanger himself, his friends, and the future of every other being in Hala. That's the back of the book. That's sort of the sum of it. Because this is book 5 in a series, you're probably going to want to go read the other 4 to understand half of the things I just said. otherwise, you're SOL. I'm sorry. But we're going to tell you whether it's worth it to read this particular one. Personally, I feel like anybody could just start the series on book 6, be very confused, but be much more satisfied. There's always that. Casey, what did you think of it? Other
I
than
think if you're
everybody thought
really,
it's stuff.
this is the book that made me stop reading the series, because my God, it's boring. The end is pretty important, so I guess like maybe if you could like read the Wikipedia article in the 100 pages or so, that might be a better reading experience. I'm sorry, this one's just not very good.
Gretchen?
I read the Wikipedia article and then read the last 100 pages or so.
Ah, yes!
That's what I did. I was telling Casey earlier that when I read a book once and I absolutely hate it, it takes like absolute amazing awesomeness for me to go back and read it, no matter how much later, and be like, oh, I like this book again. So, I mean, this book had so many strikes against it because I hated it as a kid, and then I was like rereading it again, and I was like, oh, no. Still no. Still no.
Still no.
I don't understand myself how I got through the first 5 books. Oh God. I don't understand.
They were better than this.
Well, yeah, fair. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very easy to be better than this.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess what I'm going to say is I completely agree with what they're saying, and I know this was a bad book. I didn't like it when I was a child either, but book 6 is so good, guys. It's so good. That's all I have to say. Start at book 6 and just go from there.
Is Michaela broken? I'm concerned
I like
and
the
a little
breakdown of
scared.
the breakdown of the internet coincided with her breakdown of like thoughts.
Her feelings just destroyed the internet because they're too strong. Basically, I'm pretty sure what she's saying is that it gets a lot better from here. So if you're reading along and hated this as much as we did, don't do what I did as a wee little Casey. Don't give up. It gets better. Yay!
That's what frustrates me about this series so much, is that we've had to say, Michaela's had to say every single episode, it gets better.
And it's kind of confusing because it's not like he was writing I would totally buy that like
So
the first 4. Oh, your internet died and I just started talking. Am I gone?
Oh,
Is everyone gone? Anyway, what I was saying
my God,
is,
I'm back. Okay.
Michaela, do your thing.
All I was trying to say was that now they're spoilers, so by the way, they're spoilers. That's all I needed to say.
Try going with your
parts,
video
if
up
any?
and seeing if you can at least stay here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would make me stay here. Next time I'm going to try using a different internet browser and see if that helps. But we're already here. And
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, dear.
What is happening? What is happening?
Paula is breaking down.
We broke the flume.
God damn it, Courtney.
Oh, God.
Fucking Oh man, we're gonna
Can
talk
we
about Courtney.
hold on? Wait. Does anyone actually have a favorite part, or can we just skip to where we hate
No,
it?
I have parts that I enjoyed a bit.
Okay. Well, my favorite part was the Wikipedia article. So carry on.
Oh god.
No,
I
Gretchen.
didn't read the Wikipedia article, so I don't have Harrison. But I thought that the chase scene was kind of fun, and
Right.
Tasha being willing to kill herself was cool because I was willing for her to die. And then when she did die, I was okay with that. And like the very last scene with like, now we have Lore back and like we get the promise of something less sucky. Yeah, okay, really I like the
Lore
parts
Ex
without
Machina
Tasha.
again.
That's all she does. That's what she's there for.
Oh, and to be hot. At least
Yeah.
Bobby did not go on about how hot Tasha was.
I don't think that he could have actually done that physically. I think this is the one time where he was like, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Well, that's my, I guess, favorite parts.
I wanted to like Elong because it was trying to do something interesting, and that humans or humanoids are not the main species on the planet. I get it. But it was not done well.
Yeah, not exactly Planet of the Apes, but...
Can I just... This is why I hate this book so
Okay.
much. Because this book is all I wanted. I think I coming in to save the less advanced civilization, and and that's kind of why I liked Aja, was that she was smarter. But that was handled kind of iffy. And then you get this book. And I just... It's all I wanted in theory. And then in execution, I wanted to bash my head against a twig. Because
Yep.
it just... I mean, here's how I started reading the Wikipedia article. I read the first couple of pages where Andy Mitchell is in Cyclops, and I was like, I know why, but I was like, oh yeah, I hated this. Bye. Courtney is like, I know Bobby's out there with a lot of big problems, but like, I've been cut from volleyball.
Oh,
And I'm like, no. And then Bobby is like, listen, guys, humans are being treated like crap here, and they're being ruled by cats. And he's being so bitchy about it. And I understand that's part of it. Like, throughout the book, he deals with that. But like, he doesn't. It's not.
He doesn't deal with it well.
No.
Oh, we're
There
not
was
mad,
such
Michaela. We're
potential.
just disappointed.
Such
Yeah.
potential.
If these books have an angsty teenager, it's this.
You know, I feel like the cover should have warned us. Like, just
It's gross. Gross.
but just look at him. He's gay. He's got like boy band hair, and he's like staring into your eyes, like, "Hey, girl, I'm touching."
What is
my
it about the fifth book? Because this
boob."
happened to Harry Potter too.
Yeah. At least Harry Potter had like things happening. Like technically things were happening, but I feel like it was almost like Michaela was trying really hard to be like, stuff's happening over there, but we're gonna be over here, not paying attention to it, to complain about racism, speciesism, whatever.
Yeah, and maybe too my issue is that like out of all the things you could have done, you chose cat people. Like so
And the
much
weird-
of this book doesn't sit right with me.
What I
Whoa.
don't understand... Oh, wait. Michaela?
Sorry. No, my computer just played everything that you guys just said while I was gone and fast forward. It was very awkward. It was like, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, you went into slow-mo for a minute.
Yeah, I'm just
For a second, you were just like, gross.
Gross.
Flawless. I'm just gonna let that. I totally did that on purpose, guys. Clearly. that
No, that was pretty great.
Oh, good. Okay.
One thing we were talking about while you were gone, one of the earlier times, is how you guys keep saying like it gets better, which is awesome. I'm excited it gets better, but like if I did not know, because Michaela keeps saying it, how well things planted in the first 5 books like come to fruition, and that he really knew what he was doing the whole time, I would have sort of expected that like he wrote the first 5 books and then figured out a plot. Like, it's kind of remarkable that like you have the whole storyline planned from the very beginning. Like, couldn't you have crammed more of the good stuff earlier on? Like, it's surprisingly uneven.
Okay, so here's what I have to say about that, is that he went from writing for TV to writing these books. These are his first books. So we can think of these first ones kind of as debut novels. I think the first 4 came out like the same year, like all on top of each other.
Yeah,
Maybe
that sounds right.
5, right? Because like I feel like kids' books did that a lot, where like the first couple come out so that kids feel like they have stuff to read. So these might have all been written at the same time in sort of the same way, and he wasn't used to writing books, but he knew how to have a series with an overarching plot because he wrote for television, right? That's something that's like a key component to television.
And I will say, too, about these books is that in every single one of them, like a TV episode, a lot of things happen, but you pick out, even really before you've read the rest of them, the really important thing that is discovered or like that happens. And you know what I mean? Like this book, it was if you mix the territories, you know what I mean? Each book has a point to it that builds on top of it, and you can see that. I honestly wish I can remember why I kept reading these books, because I know that little Gretchen was unhappy with the first 5, like in general, but I was just like, I really wish I could remember why.
I think for me that while I wasn't satisfied necessarily with the book itself, I cared about the characters too much to let them go. Does that make sense?
Even after this book? We'll get to that.
I have always and will forever and ever and ever love Mark. Okay. I didn't give a shit about Bobby and Courtney, but I cared about Mark. He needed to be okay.
Okay, that's fair. You can't get over your first literary love. I get it.
And that's all that I had. I was like,
just, can we talk about Courtney for a hot second, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we discuss Courtney in this book? Because I remember at the end of the series liking Courtney. And like after she has a kind of like her own kind of mini turning point. But there was like that one shining moment, and now I'm back to, why did I like Courtney again? Why do I have this thing in my head that I liked Courtney?
I think she gets over herself soon.
I hope
I feel like the events of this book kind of caused her to get over herself. I don't know that for sure, though. I can't say that for sure.
She's so stupid. And it's weird that, like, she spent, like, book 2 or 3 or something yelling at Mark for wanting to be part of the adventure. And then she's all insisting on being part of the adventure.
I think
and the love triangle that I don't care which one Bobby wants to bone. I don't oh God, it's so she's she is like the embodiment of all the teenage high school drama bullshit that I don't care about, that pisses me off about YA in general, and did not really belong in this series, but she brings it in. It was like, I just, like, the whole time we were reading this, I was just thinking, oh, Mark, if only you hadn't insisted on sharing these with her. If only you'd had, like, one other friend who wasn't her.
No friends. So here's what I have to say about Courtney, is that if this was a TV show and we were watching these play out in 30-minute episodes and not how many ever hundred of pages of book, she would be less insufferable because she's getting character development. It just takes so goddamn long for it to happen this way.
And I guess, like, maybe it's me not picking up on. I sort of got the feeling we were still supposed to like her, and we weren't supposed to think she's really dumb and reckless and self-centered. Like, I thought we were still supposed to admire her. And oh my god, of course, maybe if the flumes explode. Yes.
Gretchen wants to say something.
Say something.
Hang on, because I just want to ask. Because, and this is mostly because I have little Gretchen is like Courtney. Is there something in her character that would appeal to the younger reader this is meant for?
Yeah.
What, you know? Because we, of course, find her insufferable because we've lived through this character in real life. And we're like, people actually hate you. But it's kind of like the how, like, in YA novels, so many of the main characters get by with, like, that sassy kind of back talk that you would hate in real life, but I love to read.
In real life? Oh, yeah.
No, she's
but I love to read it because I think it's funny. As long as it's done well. But, like, you know what I mean? So I'm just, like, struggling with Courtney as, I hate you now, but I know I liked you at some point then. And I don't remember if it's because of the end of the series or because there's something in the way her character is written now even that has a redeeming quality for a younger reader.
So I'm going to go back to, I think that she gets redeemed later in the series because she's having character growth right now. She went from being the best at sports, the pretty popular girl, to kind of getting knocked down to Mark's level. So while Mark earlier in the book was like, all I do is sit in my room all day, I do nothing, she had sports and friends and, like, boys that would probably want to kiss her, even if it wasn't Bobby. Like, she had all of these things to keep her occupied, but once that is taken away from her because she no longer is the biggest, I guess, the other kids had #puberty, but she's like, my life sucks and is really boring, and Bobby's on this great adventure. I want to help, which is...
Yep, there she goes.
Yep. Well, it sort of turned into a weird, like, techno remix song when she was doing My Life Sucks.
Well, and it was perfect. It was like, my life sucks.
Yeah, no, I guess that's fair. I don't know. She's just so annoying. And I don't understand how they're all so stupid. Maybe if the flume keeps exploding when the acolytes go through it, but doesn't when the travelers go through it, maybe that's because it doesn't like acolytes going through it. I hate when the characters are stupid so that the plot can move forward. And I feel like that happened in the third book, and I feel like it happened here with Mark and Courtney. And it's like, you should be smarter than this, but you're not because
at the beginning of the book, Bobby is like, no, don't use the flume. And then by the middle of the book, Bobby is like, okay, use the flume. And then,
bye, Michaela.
And by the end of the book, nope, shouldn't use the flume. And I'm like, really? We just...
To be fair, Bobby didn't watch the flume fall apart every time they went through it. Mark and Courtney did.
Yeah.
Also, Bobby, there's plenty of reasons to hate Bobby. Bobby in this book was insufferable.
Although I will say about Mark and Courtney being the ones to see them fall apart, they did recognize what was happening. I think their desire to want to be there and be there for Bobby and be there for the adventure probably, like,
there.
I can see,
you mean Courtney's. Let's be real.
Well, okay. But, I mean, can't you, though, like, especially because they're so young. Sense. Just being like, this happens, because they don't even know, they've never been through the flume. They don't know that's not normal. So, I mean, I can excuse that just because, like, A, they didn't know it wasn't normal, and B, you know, even if they had known, they would have been like, oh, this is probably fine. I wanna be here. I wanna be here.
Okay. I'm back, I think. Am I back?
Yay!
Am I here, guys?
Welcome back. Episode.
Am I real?
Your video?
I can shut my video off, but I don't think it'll help any.
Well, you can turn it back on if you drop out after doing that. Hopefully you'll at least stay here and be able to get through a sentence.
It's always when I'm talking. It's not fair. It's like my computer doesn't want me to have a page.
Oh, God. This is just a disaster, isn't it? I mean, it's fitting, but...
I think we need to hold, like, a fundraiser to get her a new computer.
Yeah, or, like, maybe we can do this earlier and, like, she can go to a library and use their internet.
And talk in a library?
Oh, yeah, that would be kind of awkward.
Aren't you in librarian
would be
school?
Swearing. Okay, yeah, well, I mean, I haven't taken the class on shushing yet, so...
The first rule of librarian is shh.
Yeah, no, but no, the first rule of librarianing is understanding metadata schema, so...
Okay, gesundheit. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, would you like Bobby in this book?
My God, Bobby is the worst. Like, I was talking about how I wanted Kasha to die because I just didn't care about her. She was the likable traveler in this one, except for Gunny and Spader, who, oh, thank God, we're losing the ones that we actually would be willing to spend time with at the end. But Bobby is, like, constant bitching about, like, not just that the Gars are being treated as second-class citizens. I actually think that, well, not even citizens, as animals. I think Michaela did really well with that, and, like, I was getting pissed on the Gars' behalf, like, but it wasn't that Bobby was mad about that. It's like, but you're cats, and you're treating us like crap. It was like he could not wrap his head around the idea that cats, like, are smart in this world, and I found that really kind of undermined his whole message and his righteous indignation, because also it didn't make logical sense to me. I'm like, have you seen The Lion King? Like, there's precedence for believing that animals can be intelligent, even in fantasy, and this is fantasy. I don't know, that pissed me off. He was so whiny, so cat-ist. I was not feeling it.
Cat-ist?
Yes. Did Michaela come back for that?
I did indeed come back for that.
Yeah, well, that sums up a lot of rambling.
Because I'm just trying to think cats as a metaphor thing, you know, actually discussing race or gender. I mean, I kind of like that indignation in a way makes sense if you're trying to do an extreme kind of, you know what I mean?
I guess it just made me sympathize more with our bad guys. Like,
Oh.
is everyone dead?
Nope, there you are.
Did I go away? Oh, I'm sorry.
You went away from me.
Well, I was just saying, that makes sense, yeah, but it's like, it was slightly harder to feel, like, indignant at the Clees, who are the cat people, in case you didn't read this and for some reason are still watching this video, when Bobby's doing the exact same thing. Hypocrites! Oh God, Gretchen's gone now.
I'm here. I'm back. Just
Oh my
for that.
God! Thank you. I don't want to be the only one left.
Really, Casey is the only one whose computer is able to handle book club.
Oh well, I mean, my fan is going. It sounds like a plane taking off. I hope the camera isn't picking that up or the mic or whatever. But yeah, I haven't died yet. Oh, oh my God, this is just.
We might also just, you know what I'm thinking? We might just not use Google Hangouts next time. Because, like, I might look into seeing if we can just, like, OBS through Skype. It might be easier.
Yeah, maybe not do it live.
That's also possible.
Edit out some of the disasters.
Oh my God.
I'm
Oh dear, is anyone here?
I'm here.
here.
Okay. Gretchen
We're here.
went away for a second. Okay. So I hate Bobby. That's all I'm trying to say. Does anyone else hate Bobby or want to defend Bobby? Do it while your internet's still alive.
No, like I said, when I was little, I would literally skip sometimes Bobby's sections because I would be so sick of him that I would need the break.
All right.
Again, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm just trying to think this through.
Did any of that?
Yeah, no, we heard it. It worked.
No, you heard it. Can you not hear us now? Hello.
Keep
Bye-bye.
going, Gretchen.
Oh, I'm
or
just
not.
like. No, I'm right here. Hello.
Okay. Hi.
I give Michaela the benefit of the doubt. I know that I hate this one too, but I'm just like, there are so many places where I can say it would have worked if just, and then, you know, I am also trying to give myself the black card of being older now, as we discussed, like, we loved the Neverwar as kids, Reality Bug, hated the Neverwar as adults, but loved the Reality Bug. So you know what I mean? I'm just trying to keep that in perspective as well. Because, like,
fair.
I hate...
Go.
I hate saying, like, you know, DGB writer, but these are books, and I hate saying they get better, because that's, like, all intangible stuff that I can't get. Mm-hmm. But I do want to keep us all that they were meant for younger readers, and that sometimes I have to sit back and I'm like, well, maybe I guess if you're 12, this isn't as sucky. I'm not sure.
See, yeah, that's fair. I guess, like, at what point do we draw the line? Like there's some children's media that just sucks, and then there's some children's media like Harry Potter and, in my opinion, Series of Unfortunate Events that, like, is way better but still appealed to kids. So it's like,
I don't think that this book doesn't appeal to kids, because like Gretchen and I both had it as 3 stars, right? So that means that it wasn't our favorite in the series, but we didn't dislike it. If I'm not wrong on how you rate things, because a 3-star for me is a like, right? It's not a love, it's not a it was good. It's just like, yeah, it was a book and I read it and it was okay. It kept me engaged throughout it.
Yeah,
I didn't
3
dislike it
stars is
really.
I like lukewarm rating.
Yeah,
But
it's the
like,
middle.
if I go 2 or 1, I actually hated it. 4 or 5, I really liked it. 3 is like I'm on Goodreads and I'm rating books and I had a meh.
Yeah,
So
3 is like it wasn't good enough to be higher than 3, but it also wasn't bad enough to be less than 3. So I feel like this does appeal to younger readers more than it does to us. It's still not the best in the series, though. Like, it's definitely a weak book.
No.
Definitely a weak book.
I mean, I've probably been one of the more dissenting voices in most of our hangouts. But like, for me, this is the worst book of the series.
So far,
Yeah, I'd have to
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I find something to enjoy in all of the other books. Even if it was, I think that I liked it more now. Even if I don't like
in the Neverwar, Gunny! To be fair, I
Yeah,
liked Gunny.
Gunny.
Needed more Gunny.
Hashtag never getting more Gunny.
Yeah,
Give me
I was
Gunny.
gonna say, let's talk about how he shoves the 2 most likable characters off onto a planet they can't get off of.
I know.
Technically 3, because I liked Boone too. It was like everyone I liked is now on Elong. I spent the whole book wanting to get off of Elong, and now I just want to go back.
Can we talk about how even more sucky it is because it's the one planet where they're not the dominant species, too?
Ew.
So they're stuck there as slaves, basically?
Okay, well, we can assume that things get better.
Well,
It was getting better. Smiley.
Look, if you ask me to have that much faith in this book series as a whole, I have faith that it'll get better for Gunny and Spader.
It has to. It has to. Please.
oh, goodness.
I love Gunny. But I guess Spader and Courtney
Patrick.
aren't gonna bone, so
Yeah.
solves that love rectangle, rhombus, whatever.
Whatever was happening there.
I hate when he tries to do romance, because I have the feeling Michaela does not care who any of these people end up with, but he was told by like an editor or someone, kids like, because really every kid's book has a teeny bit of romance, which is weird, but I got the feeling that he had to shove it in, because it sells.
Yeah, I don't know. It is kind of weird.
Weird.
Again, I don't ever remember having an issue with all that until now. Like,
Yeah,
when I was...
that's because kids are stupid.
But, I mean, for me, like, because here's what I did, though. Like, I didn't remember that. Like, I mean, I obviously know who gets together in the end and who doesn't. But, like, for me, like, I had deleted anything that Bobby said in my mind about lore and, like, any kind of them having, like, a romantic connection. I had deleted this thing with this whole rhombus in this book. I had deleted all of that. Because, like, I just didn't care. So, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't remember that there was romance in this book. I did remember the Bobby lore thing, but not
I have
the
to say, I appreciate that Bobby was classy enough not to talk about how hot Lore was while he was holding Kasha's dead body. So that's like the one time he doesn't go on and on about how gorgeous she is. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Bobby. He has some class.
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
I don't know if I have anything else to say about this. And I didn't even get to say very much because I was gone most of the time. But I
Yeah,
also
me
don't want to
neither.
repeat stuff that you guys said while I was gone.
Oh, you'll say it smarter than I did. But yeah, there's not that much to say because for such a long book, not that much happens. Like, he gets
And
to
I mean,
Elong, he's treated like crap, he's thrown in a cage, he gets out of the cage, he's treated like crap some more, there's a big chase scene, then it ends. That's it. It should not have been as long as it was. We did not need to spend that much time in the cave or the hole or the pit or whatever it was.
Ah, yes, the pit.
I mean,
Oh, the
that's the
pit.
problem I always have with these books, and maybe it goes back to him being like a writer for TV and not realizing that you really don't have to do this. But there are so many unnecessarily padded action scenes, or like just
Feels like he's doing it in real time.
yeah, like it would be really interesting in a TV show if every time after he gets out of a flume, he's like attacked by the Quigs. And I know that that's a thing, but every single time he gets out of a flume, there is this extended fight with a Quig that generally doesn't really do much for anything.
Did we
Like-
talk about the fact that the Quigs here are people?
Oh, that was kind of cool.
Because I did like that. I'll say that's kind of my favorite part, but it also causes issues that I don't want to get into.
I'll get into them. So,
Okay.
those Quigs... Sorry, I'm eating ice. Quigs are animals,
Mm-hmm.
but here they're people. But the people on Elong are not animals. They're actually people. So does that mean that there are two different species of humans, one of which is animal and incapable of sentience and higher reasoning and whatnot, and those are the Quigs, and then there's the other ones? Or could the Quigs be humanized if they were given the opportunity? Or did Michaela not want us to think that hard about it?
I think it was just him being like, here's an interesting way to introduce the fact that humans are a subspecies on this planet. I don't think he thought that hard about it.
They're not a subspecies. They're
Wait, can I ask a question?
good.
Go ahead.
Yes.
On First Earth, what were the Quigs?
Probably dogs. I don't think we saw them. We
Dogs.
saw mob boss people, mob folks.
The Quigs were
Okay,
the
because
mafia.
for a hot sec, I had a memory of the Quigs being like the mobsters, but I guess that it was just because they were there.
I think they were just mobsters there. I don't think they were Quigs.
Okay, so I was just like, was that a thing? Am I remembering that right? That was the fight scene at the front of the flume.
They might be people, Casey, but they're still a subspecies. Like, the cat people are the dominant people. So, like, dogs are wicked smart, but we still think they're dumber than us, and therefore, they are an animal. And I don't think that, I mean, we can say they're people, and they have thoughts and stuff, but I don't think that we can say that they're smarter or as smart as the Klee, necessarily.
Well,
we don't have enough information for that.
But the ones at Blackwater are. They have all that tech. So that then raises the question of if there are different levels
I'm going to say that
evolution.
That stands as an allegory for the, whatchamacallit, the ignorant savage. The white people saying that all native and people of darker skin tones can't have done any sort of sciencey stuff because they're lesser than them.
Yeah.
It's like sort of like that, I feel like. And I also don't necessarily know that Saint Dane didn't fuck with them and give them stuff that they shouldn't have had. Right?
That's true.
Also, they could have just been like things that he like created in the image of humans, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, I mean, because Saint Dane walks around looking like a human, but he's not one. So I mean, in that way, I mean, he is, but he isn't. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I had deleted the human Quigs from my brain as well. I was like, that's gross. Goodbye.
It was an interesting thing, and I think it was a good way to introduce the idea that humans are a subspecies, because Bobby's like wicked confused by that. It throws him off. Is it the best thing? No. Did it cause problems? Kind of? Yeah. But it was interesting.
He
It was a thing that
tried.
happened.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I like and I'm frustrated by in this book. There were so many good ideas that just weren't executed well, and it's just like, Urgh.
That's also a reason to read the next book, to just be like, will you do it better? Because you could, and you just didn't, and I want it better. Okay. Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
No, honestly.
Okay. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about the Rivers of Ziddah, because, yay, finally number 6, the second half of the series. We can start our rise back into woo.
And hopefully Michaela's internet will survive, because we miss her when she's gone.
Yeah. I am going to say that the first half of the Rivers of Ziddah can be boring for some people, but I really love that section because I find it really important.
Okay. So, it can't be more boring than this.
Well,
oh dear.
Boring
in a different way. All right.
Boring in a different way. This had a lot of things happening. Not a lot of stuff happens in the first half of the Rivers of Ziddah, but in that not a lot of stuff happening is a lot of important character growth.
All right. I am scared, but trusting you.
It gets better. It gets better. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, as long as my tiny child brain did not deceive me.
I have to say, you are taking us insulting your favorite book quite well. I did not do as well with the series of unfortunate events. I got defensive and pissy, and you're not doing that, and I find that very admirable.
That's because you're not picking at things that I disagree with. If you were picking at things that I disagreed with, I would disagree with you, but I agree. This one was not the best one. There's just not much else I can defend it with. I can't be like, no, you guys aren't seeing the point. It's all allegory. It's like this thing, and I'm not even gonna try. It's not true. I can just go. I promise it gets better.
I think this will get more interesting as we get into the later books, because I know that I have a severe issue with at least like the final book that like had me hissing and spitting when I read it the first time. And I feel like that's going to be when Michaela and I just, like, fisticuffs.
Yay!
That day may come. Where can people find... Oh, I should say, you can find our book club itself. It all has its own social media. There's a Goodreads group, the Twitter, a Vine, and Instagram, where we talk about the books that we're going to be doing. Like I said, next week we're doing The Rivers of Ziddah for this, but we're also talking about Skin Trade by Laurel K. Hamilton for our normal book club on Tuesday, and that's the last one for the summer. So, you know, you're going to want to be there for that and stuff.
I don't think I'll be able to make it, but you should go there for everyone else, because they're cool people.
Yeah. Also, Anita Blake, guys. It's Anita Blake, and that series is also close to my heart, and I'm waiting for people to yell at me about it. I'm just waiting. I picked it on purpose because I knew that people could pick it apart.
By people, you mean Taylor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I should have been read a Batman thing. Something.
Taylor lives to break our hearts and souls.
He's already told me what his biggest problem with it is, though, so I already am prepared to fight back about that.
So you guys should be there because you don't want to miss the violence.
Yeah, usually I sit off to the side of that, but I'll defend that one. Yes, okay. The book club has its own social media. We also have social media. Where can people find you guys?
Oh, you can find me at thedrunklibrarian.wordpress.com and nowhere else.
That's it, guys. That's all, folks.
That's all you get. Well.
If you want to find me, it's generally adkwriter15 .wordpress.com, at Twitter, .tumblr. On Facebook, I'm My Life is a Notebook, and on Goodreads, I am my name, Gretchen C. Allmeyer.
And I am pretty much at Pied Piper Calls everywhere, except for my blog is The Pied Piper Calls, because The Pied Piper Calls makes more sense. But not everything lets you have The in your username. It's too many characters, apparently. Rude. So I'm at Pied Piper Calls most places. Yeah. That's what I got. My social media was pretty much dominated by Booktubeathon last week. So there's a bunch of book stuff. And I took selfies today because I dyed my hair purple, which you can't see because my internet's been a butt and my computer's been a butt and everything sucks.
It's really pretty,
I'll try and
guys.
do something different next time and hope that that works, but I don't know. We'll see.
Bye.
Bye, guys.